TND Ketchup, my brother from another mother. I'm going to get right into this and say how hype I am, but I also want to pause for just a single moment to understand how in the hell you're in two places at once, because you're doing Quake Pro League right now. Is that correct?
Yes. So as of right now, I'm currently commentating the Quake Pro League. Also, I know there's a reflection on my glasses in green screen. You'll be able to see my eyes through the void, apparently. I'll try and keep that to a minimum. But for scheduling reasons and everything else, this show that you're about to watch has been pre-recorded a few days prior to QuakeCon at home. That said, it is my absolute honor to welcome every single one of you to the Battle Mode Friday Night Fights Invitational Finals, which is being done as part of QuakeCon at home. My name is Ketchup, and I'm with Tokyo Punch-Out, as always. And it's been a really extended but exciting community project for Friday Night Fights. And I think for those that are unaware, maybe you're here for the first time, or you've never seen Battle Mode in a high level, Tokyo, run us through what today is all about.
Absolutely. So first of all, if you're here for the first time, welcome. You're in the right place. We're glad you're here. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. So what you're watching is Doom Eternal, best FPS ever made. There, I said it. Has a very special, very unique, very cool id Software designed mode that's multiplayer called Battle Mode, where it is one fully kitted out Slayer that's all the all of the traversal with double dash, with meat hook, with all of the arsenal. You've got frags, you've got everything you could want, glory kills, chainsaw, all of it, versus two player-controlled demons. Now, the very spicy, very interesting part of these player-controlled demons, Ketchup, is these aren't just any demons. You're not just like running around as an imp or a shotgun soldier. Am I right?
No. So there are specific demons that the player gets to control. They've got their own set of attacks and kind of abilities that they can use in the middle of a match. But also you get summons, so you can summon AI demons to help you out. Definitely a team effort required to win at a really high level. And it is the eternal, no pun intended, I guess, strategy versus skill, which is pushed in battle mode, where the demons have to be very calculated and they have to be careful. And the Slayer has to be good enough really to juggle all of the weapons, all of the ammo, and making sure you can actually hit those important shots versus player-controlled demons, which are definitely harder to hit than the standard AI. Now, what has the Invitational been? So the Friday Night Fights was originally a weekly collection of just prominent community members that wanted to play at a high level and showcase their gameplay and enthusiasm for the game for the general Doom Eternal community. And it was a weekly Friday night show, even though it's going to be broadcast on Saturday. I know there's a little bit of a thing there, don't worry, well aware. But essentially the weekly matches were just an opportunity to show people what the game mode can do at this level of play. And then we got thinking, with QuakeCon at home, around the corner, what if we turn it into something that's a bit more of a competitive experience? And that is what led us to invite some of the absolute best battle mode players from a Slayer side and a Demon side, all in one collective place. And they played round robin over the course of 7 weeks. Everyone fights everyone. And then by the end of it, we find out who is the most dominant set of demons and who is the most dominant Slayer. And trust me when I say the gameplay that you're about to see is, I'm going to go out there and say it is the highest level battle mode you would have seen so far. Guarantee.
100p. And as a perfect setup for that, as you just did, this has been 7 weeks. So if you're just joining us now, like, congratulations. First of all, go back and watch all the VODs, because you have 7 weeks of the sweatiest, juiciest, most juiciest juicers that ever lived the land that are playing and sweating in battle mode and just giving us our life, because the entertainment value is off the roof. I'm going to show everybody now, just for a second. This is the leaderboard. So this is what got us from zero to hero. So it's been 7 weeks of everybody going toe-to-toe. This is the most fair way to do it. As you know, in a tournament structure, the best way to do it is everybody plays everybody. There's no Salt, there's no Johns, that's it. So there's no doubting that now when you look at the top of the list, I'm just going to call him Zan because nobody calls him by his full name, and by God, I'm not going to do it now. In first place with 61 rounds won and only 9 lost. Again, in a single match, there's a possibility of only 5 rounds max. So you got to think that only 9 were dropped. That's a total of potentially 3 maps. That is almost nothing. And on the other side, Cronin and Conjugates, these two absolute legends, just writing the manuals on how to do when you demon, only dropped 18 rounds and won 58. And again, Ketchup, we'll talk about this more as we go on, but There's been a lot of different balance updates. id Software is super on top and super creative about basically paying as much attention as possible and trying to balance and rebalance the game as many times as it takes until the ultimate player experience is achieved. So of course, these guys have gone through all the bumps, all the bruises to get to here and look at the dominance catch up.
And before we get into these set of games with Cronid and conjugates of the demons and Zanarathaz as the Slayer,
ooh, full name
once before we go into Zan for the rest of the stream, I do really want to give a huge shout out to every single player that was involved in this invitational. Everyone really grabbed this opportunity with both hands, gave us their 100% all every single step of the way. It was a pleasure having all of them as a part of this, and all leading up to an exciting finals that I'm really excited for the wonderful people at home to check out, the community and otherwise.
As am I. So before we get crazy into what will be a best of 5,
now, Armageddon is absolutely a map that has changed quite a lot if we're talking about the general meta. It's very favorable now that demons like to kind of set up shop near blue teleporter. You get lots of cover. You need to be defensive against a Slayer that is just hitting crazy shots against you. And that room kind of really limits the Slayer's options to just poke you down with the precision bolt, the ballista. And comp-wise, it's interesting because it's Archvile and Revenant, one of the most lethal combos in the game because the Archvile can set up and the Revenant can finish.
Exactly. The Archvile has got basically the only demon and the only character in this game that has actual teleportation, where he can look at a spot and poof, he's there, but also has amazing defensive setups. With, first of all, 2 Cacos coming out. You might wonder, how the hell did these 2 Caca demons get in here? That is part of the kit that these 2 demons pick to spawn in. There's a lot of offense coming out already. As you see that blue volume pop, that is a demon healing volume, which didn't work enough for conjugates because he's already out right now. If his teammate can stay alive for a little bit longer, he's going to get spawned back in because that's how battle mode be. But right now, Zan's just taking his time, just sort of like taking a little tour of Armageddon here, seeing what kind of hellscapes there are to see, Ketchup.
Now, Zan has some of the most lethal quick switches you can possibly imagine, especially with how quickly he swaps between Precision Bolt and a bunch of his other weapons. But then you weigh up versus Conjugates and Cronid. They are incredibly wise demons. Real scientists of the game. They create these unusual comps. Every map, they have their own separate strategies, and there really is no strat they haven't tried at least once in a competitive setting. But in this position, Zan's doing a great job of just not really keeping them separated, but just chipping them down. And as you'll notice now, the heal, it's going to be back in about 5 seconds, but they can't really do it safely. There's going to be too much splash. And just like that, meat hooks, super important to get in without having to use dash. If you dash in, he's going to get one of the demons. But what I was going to say is that if you dash into that room, you have no backup plan for a missile barrage the Revenant's going to do. But if you meat hook in there, he can't react.
That, what you just saw right there, was absolute perfection. Zan looked at that firewall and he said, you know what I'll use with that firewall? I'll use a ballista boost, which is almost like a rocket jump if you're familiar with Quake, boosting himself right back in to where Cronid was ending up and ended the round in the favor of the Slayer. Dash coming out as an end of round upgrade for Slayer. No real craziness there, but Tactician and Broiling Heat, again, demons getting stronger, having their abilities last longer and come up more frequently. You will see a lot of this tonight.
Absolutely. And for the Revenant, it's really important that the Revenant gets those action skills as fast as possible. It gives you that survivability. It gives you the ability to push if need be. You're noticing here Zan trying to start things off by being hyper-aggressive on the Revenant, but those Caco demons having other plans because the demon players summon the Cacos as a barrier. Those summons are so important to shut down an aggressive Slayer. And just like that, Zan almost completely out of armor if it wasn't for that one. That's going to be a free ballista shot, on the Caco demon. Takes it out for free. One-stop shop to just get rid of it. But the important thing for Zan here is to really eliminate the Revenant problem. He knows that Conjugates is the source of damage, and that is why Revenant really, as far as Zan is concerned, is public enemy number 1.
Exactly. And the Revenant is built just as you see him, as a glass cannon, or bone cannon, if you will, because he can deal such massive damage with his rocket barrage. But as you'll see, if Zan starts to... Wait a second. He's hitting almost everything. He's on the chase. And actually, he's already set up on the other side. Cronin is setting up. Will the Firelight come out? And it does. It does some damage. Does he have Noxious? Let's see what he's going to... Oh, no. The setup of that rocket barrage could have been it, but he's still alive, and he is still slaying right now. Getting his HP up, doing the glory kills, getting that. You're going to see the loot block again.
Oh, the
demon.
Wall. Let's go.
No, my God. And they did all that inside of a healing volume catch-up, because you know why? Because they saved some of that strat for later. They set it up ahead of time because these guys are scientists.
That's what setup looks like. It's the importance of the Archvile being able to create that wall and then the Revenant to finish the job. The Cacodemon was just a bonus. Now, speaking of bonuses, you have the Master Carve, so you've got more of the chainsaws. Ammo's really important. Also, getting rid of that loot block. Then buff minions to make your Cacodemons more powerful. And the Tactician from the Archvile. I mean, utility really is how you survive against a Slayer. So, very
100%.
common upgrades. Buff minions definitely becoming more common now than it used to be. Now the AI is a little bit better than it was. And the netcode changes with those summons coming out quicker than they used to, really shifting that meta for buff minions.
Yeah, the Eye and Intelligence definitely got a buff around update 2. And when you add some buff minions on top of that, when that strike comes, it's going to feel like a third demon player, which is exactly what you're one if you're Chronid and Conjugates. But wait a second, he's trying to play bully ball, get that bone cannon off the board. See, that's where the healing volume right there can get you caught, because you need to stay in order to get heals. There wasn't enough basically time or space or a firewall to block off that amazing display you just saw of basically straight up assault. There's the firewall coming out. Chrono trying to stay alive. See if he can stay alive for 4 more seconds later to get Conjugate back on the board, because that's what he wants. He wants that glass cannon coming back so that rocket barrage can come out and they can have a chance at this, because right now the stack on Zan is comfortable. And he's got him in a good position. And he's got the teleporter behind him, which, as you know, Ketchup, there's one on either side of the map. There's a pretty long cooldown, so it's kind of one of the higher level strat things that a Slayer can do, is sort of position himself in a way where that can be used to his advantage, where he can go to and fro and basically cross the map without much traversal.
He's going to have to resort to that rocket launcher again. He is out of ballista shots, and he knows it. But he's going to go all in and taking out those 2 demons in one go. I mean, Zan's quick switching is so insane.
It's a tutorial.
I mean, he's juggling the right weapons, though, because in that situation, when you've run out of ballista shots, a lot of Slayers kind of crumble. But if you just manage ammo for every other weapon, you can still quick switch to good effect. Now, power upgrades. We're entering a point where we get those extra bonuses. What really interests me is that Chronid went for quick acting. The idea of being able to get another loot block on deck to really try and either limit ammo more, or when you get Zan weak, being able to shut down his ability to restack. So very all in, but Zan looking to aggress pretty much instantly. And they don't go for the blue teleporter this time. They know that Zan is able to beat them to the punch every time thanks to his dash upgrade. So it's not worth it. They bide their time, and now they wait for a safe time to go in.
And I love that Zan already has an answer to those double Cacos stacking. Oh my god. Don't blink, by the way, turn around, because he's already off the map, and now it's just Zan v Revenant v Conjugates, which Conjugates has a little bit of escapability here with the fuel, but there's only a limited amount. The question is will he be able to survive long enough, another 3 seconds, to get his teammate back? Oh, he had it, and then wait a second. Okay, he's back on the board. You saw the heal pop. They've got heal, but what I was going to point out there is I love the way that Zan uses Ballista's Arbalist, the mod for that. He was able to get a 2-for-1 in the sense that one shot direct to a Cacodemon will kill it, and he put the other one in Glory Kill state right off the bat. He is not having a problem dealing with 2 Cacodemons being up in his face.
Arbalist. Arbalist versus Revenant is not a matchup that he enjoys, and just look at the insane damage output. Wait a minute, Conjugate, he's got to be on like 1 health at this point. Looks like a healing cube's come down. You can see the regenerating on the screen. The meat hook all the way in. The surprise attack. I don't think they were fully prepared for him to be as quick in there as he actually was. And that's going to be some splash you don't want to deal with. Wow. This absolutely is a done deal. And that's just not a situation the Archvile can survive. Unfortunately, game 1 goes to Zan.
I mean, that's an absolutely delicately crafted for none other than the greatest community battle mode players in the game right now, Torment. As you can see, there's a lot of, it's interesting because there's verticality, but it's not straight verticality in the sense where it's like big open. Like it's kind of still corridory. It has a little bit of everything here. But there are basically 3 distinct layers that you can both spawn AI and try to fight at. And I'm going to be real curious to see where they try to set up and where they try to run that strat from in this map, Ketchup.
Now, the lineup has changed a little bit. They've kind of gone back to classic a little bit. This was an original lineup that became the most popular kind of meta set of demons. That Pain Elemental, information, support, tankiness, but push. The ability to absorb some of that Slayer damage. The shield is kind of mandatory. And then you have that classic Marauder. Very range heavy, more tanky than you would expect thanks to the armored properties. And a lot of range. You can poke that Slayer down and kind of go toe-to-toe. The big thing is they're both tricky to pin down on Torment. Dashes, the jumping paths you can take. You can be very hard to finish off. when one of you's down. But as you can see here, big fight taking place in the middle, and there's going to be a lot of that. The center point is where a lot of the combat tends to take place.
And again, with this classic comp of Pain Elemental and Marauder, you're going to see a lot of the cat and mouse in the sense that Pain Elemental will almost always try to draw attention, make sure he has eyes on Slayer, because in battle mode, when a Slayer is seen and seen for a specific amount of time, they can be seen regardless of where they are, if they turn corners and stuff for a limited amount of time. So the Pain Elemental is literally the eye in the sky, as it being a floating meatball of none other than this is a Castle Grayscale skin he's got right now. It's gorgeous. I love how the wolf still comes out as the remnants of the Marauder is left on the map. But again, Conjugate's doing a really good job of staying out of dodge, waiting for his teammate to come back, setting up AI, kind of running his comp. It's actually interesting that you see the Carcass doing that much movement, because remember, the Carcass can almost play like a third player in the sense that they can just pop up shields and be really annoying in the way that the Slayer likes to move around, as Zan likes to have his freedom and likes to be able to fly free here. That's a really nice teleport use. I thought he was going to get some PB out of that, a little bit of a precision bolt poke, but again, Conjugate's aware of the angles more than perhaps anyone on the Demon side right now, and doing a really good job of playing pushback.
Last minute attempt there from Cronid. He knows he's going to go down. There's not really much you can do to stop that, so he's going to put down that Noxious Hazard. He's going to get as much damage as he can. But Conjugate's really doing the right thing, and this is where the Pain Elemental can really thrive. The kind of ability to fly and dash, it's super important for just staying alive. However, alive long enough for Cronid to spawn, whether Cronid can survive, yeah, he's kind of stuck out in the open. A little bit like the round was done. But we're going into the next round. Now, the important thing is that now Conjugates is going to be able to get Fit Meatball. Now, Fit Meatball just means that your aerial dash, you get it more often. It's as simple as that. And on this map, that faster dash, it lets you survive, it lets you evade, it lets you waste time while you wait for your teammate to respawn. And there are so many ways that you can make it difficult for the Slayer to chase you down. Now, Tactician, good for the Marauder, because it just means that you get a little bit more of that armor. You have shorter cooldowns on things like your Noxious Hazard. It only comes back in like, what, 24 seconds? That's barely anything for the damage you get.
I like that they try to zone him out there by putting the Noxious Hazard down right away on both sides of when he goes up and he goes down. Zan now playing on the back foot, but wait, you've got Cronid on basically a shot fingernail of HP. He goes down, the health and armor is collected. But again, he's got Fit Meatball now, so you're going to see that dash come up quicker, which is super, super important if he's going to survive this. It's going to be hard. But again, I love Zan's play here. He's a patient Slayer in the way that, like you said, you might see him push forward a lot, but when he hits that W, there's not a single thought about it that isn't calculated.
Last-minute dash. Last-minute dash to get away from that precision bolt. Arbalest's not going to quite hit its mark. The rapid fire between the bolt. The rapid fire between everything. This is ridiculous. Cronid barely alive. Now, the problem is they're both weak. That double hazard means you can't heal. So unless you can survive long enough to get that double team heal on deck, you're going to have to be on borrowed time, I guess, in these situations. And he's not able to get him. Cronid, so good at being slippery. And you have to be slippery as the Marauder. But he gets him. He gets him anyway.
Can we talk about the way that he uses a meat hook to basically just be like the confectionery carnage of just running the gamut on how you play Torment, and the way that he's just jungle gymming around, using any big enemy he can, like a spider, an Arachnotron on the ground, to just basically use how he wishes. Please.
What's happening here? This is a significant set of upgrades, Tokyo, because now we have the Tactician from the Pain Elemental, which means more hazards, shorter cooldown. And then we have the bigger bar, which is going to make the Marauder all that little bit more annoying to really finish off. So those situations where the Marauder's just about to get taken out, that extra 500 goes a long way. But it's going to be all about those double hazards. Zan being crazy aggressive at the start, as he knows he has to be. Nice little ballista jump, actually, really to cover that distance. Boost, I really like that one.
Another great hazard, though, to put him in the situation where he has to basically
They've
go
shut
now.
down the teleporter. They've shut down the teleporter completely, and now Zan had no choice but to accept the damage. And Cronid, being that kind of, I would say, living body block, but the Marauder's barely alive, isn't it?
He's got the shield up. You know he's on the absolute back foot. Loot blocks are now irrelevant because they got him. They caught him. They caught him out. That was a really, really nice touch.
Turned into pace, Tokyo. That's what that was. Power upgrades. This is where things actually start to benefit the demons quite a lot, because you got the Sentinel infused, basically more stack and ammo, right, for the Slayer. But the double team heal, it just means that you can you can pretty much play this general game better all the way. You know, you've got more sustain, you've got more push, and if you're coordinated, you just have the extra tanky factor, and then you add the fact that you've got bigger bar on the Marauder as well. Pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's the fact that it's instantaneous. When you pop that team heal, you just get that HP. It's not a volume you have to pop. There's no time on delay. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can fully utilize this in the way that they both get full advantage while they're still alive.
SSG damage.
They've already got all of Zan's armor gone, doing some really nice. You're seeing that axe hit like it's magnetized right now. You've got Cronin throwing some bangers.
Conjugates there being crazy aware that Zan's dash was down, so he actually used the hazard as a ranged projectile just to get that free stack. But wait a minute, Zan, he's super weak again, and here comes the shield. He's going to be aggressive here. Conjugates, of course he will, and he knows he can push. Oh my lord!
Is there any HP?
Have like one. Oh, sniped.
That lost soul just got found. Beautiful. Beautiful toss from Conjugates, the Pain Elemental in the sky. We're in the final round here, Ketchup. It's 2-2. It could go either way. This is really looking good for the Demons. They're on a nice run right now.
The upgrades absolutely favor the Demons a lot more in this respect. Like, look, upgrades help everyone, but the amount of utility it changes for the Demons, I mean, that's how significant things become. Now, here's the immediate shot. But the Armored comes out from Cronid, and thanks to his Tactician, it's still up, look. He still has Armored, so he can still be a little bit aggressive if he wants to. And he's not even taken half life. However, this might change a little bit as Zan looking to push. Yo, check out the Arachnotron jumping on his head.
I love throwing the frag grenade, throwing a rocket launcher, just leaving damage like on your heels. Like, I love the way that Zan is basically like keeping nothing but safety behind him in the way that he's moving around this map and keeping basically everything in front of him in a way that's going to take damage. That's already off the board right there with Cronid. So now it's that 1v1 versus Pain Elemental. The shield is up, but it's only going to be up for so long. Let's see how Zan can take advantage of this. The Ballista Boost comes out. The Doge is just standing up there, just waiting for his master to return. 2 more seconds and he'll get him back.
I do wonder if Conjugates has his team heal, though. Oh, no, they have. Look, healed it almost immediately. But just as quickly, Zan has deleted it. That is how much damage a talented Slayer can really pump out, and why Demons have to be so careful. He goes down. Now, I mean, it's going to be in Cronid's position to make sure he doesn't get hit. Now, the Marauder, even though it is a little bit squishy compared to some of the larger Demons, you do have the Armored, and he's smaller. The reality is the Marauder's just a smaller target, and that is beautiful ticks. Catching him in the double jump. Conjugate's absolutely going to come back, and Zan quite intelligently using it as an opportunity to restack, and just look at the damage you can pump out. Cronid getting tagged by Ballista, but it's not enough. Loot blocks definitely going to happen. No double blocks. Conjugates and Cronid absolutely in sync. I block, you block.
And they've got a long time for that team heal to come back, so they really need to make sure that when they make their push, it's got to count. It's got to be all or nothing, or they need to basically try to back up and see if they can get Zan in a situation where he's not focused on them enough. He can try to restack and they can get their team heal back and make another push.
Now, Zan has no armor. He's probably going to get some armor. They remember the flaming meat hook. That is such a good way for a Slayer to get that instant 20 health. And you can actually go for a meat hook into a flame belch and it stacks. So you get more armor than you would expect. And Zan definitely knows that. That's why sometimes he'll get 40 armor instead of 20.
I love again, leaving the Arbalist like a love letter in case Conjugates was peeking and tried to look.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
But yeah, exactly. You'll see that Zan will use... Position. Oh, good God. Can we just highlight that meat hook for 2 seconds? Like, that was just like, I'd rather be in the middle of the map. Thanks. One move. Done. Perfect meat hook there. Damage is coming out.
To shut it down. They got their team heal as well, Tokyo, and that's really important. The time it's taken Zan to get his stack has allowed them to waste that time, and now they might be aggressive because he's got no armor. He's super low on ammo. They've blocked that as well. He's got nothing left.
And he's looking for ads. There we go. Now he's got one. Okay. He's got a bit of a stack back as far as armored. At least... Oh, but wait, they've got all of his armor gone. This is like such a beautiful, fair fight, but they've got him exactly in the middle of where they wanted to be. Oh, plus the hazard. There it goes. Demons.
Talking about.
Boy, that was as good as it gets for end of round. Here we go. Okay. Every angle you're going to see that UAC treatment. Was what kind of madness was going on here? Was this a factory? There's vents. You see a lot of things being growing out of the ground. God knows what experiments happen here, but I'll tell you right now that this is going to be absolutely nuts. This is the tiebreaker so far. Again, this is best of 5. It could go all the way, but right now it is 1-1, and this is just... Excavation is such an interesting, different pick for a map in the sense that, like, there's only basically, like, 2 main levels of this map, so you're going to see a lot of these long shots as Zan is, like, pursuing right here. You're going to see those PBs, that ballista coming out. But the setups are really different in the sense that those 2 big rooms for the teleporter catch-up, like, they can be life or death, and, like, that risk or basically like fight or flight moments, I think they're going to happen pretty frequently on this map as far as when we get towards the end and they're going for those pushes. I love the hazard too, coming out naturally in this map. It hurts both demons and slayers. Of course, Conjugate is floating way above that, being the spicy meatball in the sky, but my God, they're hitting everything, and I think that this might be it already on round 1, and that's a really
mention
nice...
at the same time, they did
please.
a wonderful job of calling out his movement, the amount of hazards they hit on the jump pads that Zan kind of had no choice but to use. But hang on a minute, just like
How is he alive?
He's going
My
to get some
God.
guaranteed. You get guaranteed stack and ammo from a dead demon. Is he going to be able to finish the job? Conjugates kind of runs into him.
Yeah.
Zan still taking a bit of damage. He has to get rid of that Hell Knight real quick because he's not healthy, and that was disgusting range. The precision bolt into the ballista, so much damage in a short space of time, but they did well. It's just his
really
restack.
well.
Zan's restack is disgusting. Now, nothing new here. Zan, he loves the dash. A lot of Slayers like to go Mastercarve first because look, they hate being out of ammo, but Zan, movement is what he's all about. If he can move, he can chase, he can run, he can play mind games. How you chase and how you run away. The dash can introduce so many more layers to how a demon can chase you down. The fact he has dashing now means hazards are less likely to hit him, and that's what almost got him killed in the first round.
Exactly right. I love we're already seeing the ballista boost coming out, doing that surprise coming out of nowhere. You don't know where the angle is, you don't know exactly where it's coming from. And again, this is a Quake player. This guy is counting his rounds. So it doesn't surprise me that Dash is coming out before MasterCard, because he knows exactly what he's doing and exactly what his stack is at all times. That is why when he's making these pushes, even when they seem dangerous, he knows that he can come out of it. Oh my. I don't know if Cronin's going to make it out of this. There's a very low Marauder on the map right now, and he is doing some double jumps, and I'm not sure if it's going to last.
He's going to get that guaranteed haste. This carcass has been such a pain in his backside, though. All right, the chainsaw, and now they use the loop block. Now that you have to really get that time in a place. They try and shut down his ammo. Unfortunately, not quite able to do it. We are going to lose the Marauder here. But again, Conjugate's really healthy. And with this Pain Elemental Shield and the Fit Meatball, it's pretty likely that he's going to survive this. That said, the damage is going to be insane. I do like that hazard being used just to create an obstacle that Zan's unlikely to push forward into. And now they've somewhat stabilized. But the problem is Zan, incredibly healthy.
Yeah, I mean, now he's almost got a full stack, including armor. This is definitely not a good setup for demons, but you know what? These demons have survived, made pushes, and changed this whole thing and turned it around before, so the hazard already comes out,
nice.
So there's going to be one less. They're not going to have a hazard for a little bit here. Zan goes underneath looking for some resources. As you can see, his super shotgun was out of ammo there, and he's going to get it, but already Cronid is again at a fang's health. And it's not going to be a wolf that can save him there. You get a nice little restack coming from that. Zan's healthy enough to make a full push on Conjugates, who is just trying to survive, trying to stay out of harm's way. He's fully visible. That shield's coming down, but Zan actually chooses smartly to restack, reset, and sort of just, cause the flow of the map to go his way. Again, AI have not been in this area for a while, so he knows he's safe. He knows he can back up to it. And he's just
More push, though. Hang on. Look at his lack of armor, Tokyo.
Okay, hold on.
Everyone's kind of tender here.
Yeah.
One good hazard. Oh, that hazard, only one tick. Definitely could have been a little bit more there. But the more important thing is that Zan now knows the hazard is gone, so he's not going to be as nervous to push. And now with Cronin being as weak as he is, he's probably going to have his armor back. Yeah, it was always insane, those kind of shots.
Can we talk about that patience, too? You've mentioned how much of a nuisance that carcass is in the map. He just sees him and casually leaves him there. Knows that he's there for a meat hook if he needs him for an underneath quick route. Ooh, you love it! You love it! My God, that's how you use the Arbalist. Ladies and gentlemen, take notes. The Doge
This is a scary situation. It's going to take them a lot of time
coming
to get out
down.
of that
That
height.
shield's coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to chase it. Can he find him? That's the million-dollar question. Can he actually find him? Like, not yet. Oh, there he is.
Oh, it's a spicy meatball. The Hell Knight doing what the hell?
Oh, the read. That's the mind games I'm talking about. You just get a good read on where they're going to escape and cut them off. I mean, you can't be right 100% of the time, but this is a good place to be. And even with the armored in effect, he's still got deleted at the end. Ooh, nice little boost there. But 2 rounds straight. Now, things are going to change again. As I said, we did see this pretty much in the last map where, look, Pain Elemental gets Tactician, Marauder gets Bigger Bar. Now, things are going to be just that little bit more difficult for the Slayer to take them out. But it's got to be said, Zan, I mean, the big thing is that he's getting frags really early, and he's kind of keeping them separated. So they're never really able to group together. They can't coordinate too much in attack, because if one of them's permanently behind, the demons can't 1v1, right? They're not designed to be able to do that. And he's doing a good job of just choosing who to aggress on first. And a lot of the time, it tends to be Kronid just to keep him weak.
Yeah, and see, of course, with this comp, they kind of do want to keep, you know, the Slayer in the middle as much as they can. Wow, some really nice super shotguns and that axe coming out. Conjugates with the push. I love to see it when the shield comes out, doing the body block. They got him in a nice spot right now. Let's see if this chase can persist. They're both in really good spots. Will he get cut off? Oh, he does. He does. That's exactly what they wanted. But he survives. My God, how does this guy survive?
I don't know how he's still alive.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's the meat hook behind, so the shotgun blast.
Look at his health. He was dead a second ago. He is just, in his maneuverability, his ability to restack is like none other. So impressive to watch.
He's still
really
taking
nice
a lot of
hazard.
damage.
Really nice hazard. Ooh, the push is real.
I swear if he survived this, I'm going to be so mad.
Oh, my God.
I will be mad for
he
them.
poked back out. With the hazard, there's no way. Oh, my God, it's restacking as it's moving. Ketchup, what are we looking at? Jesus.
All right, he's done. He's done. He's done. I think and look how weak Kronid was. He was one hit. He was like one small projectile away from going down. Now, the important thing about that round is it's given us power upgrade. So now the double team heal comes back. Yes, there is Sentinel infused, but the reality is it is that double team heal that makes the big difference. And
100%.
Right now, I mean, if they get more of that, they're in the money, I suppose, you know? They're in a good spot.
I mean, that was the hardest fought round I've seen, maybe ever. So now they've got some momentum going their way. But yeah, like you said, the power upgrades, specifically which, that team heal, these guys know exactly when and how to push. And they're going to try to put Zan in that situation where he's done the homework, he's done the math, and he thinks he can win. And it's going to come down to who hits all of their shots when that fateful duel comes down, because it's coming. It's a coming. They're both looking pretty stacked. Go ahead.
There was a big push there from Zan. The thing is, he immediately went through the teleporter, but he forced the armored out of Kronid. And now, look, he's sticking to him because he has no armored. He has no way of surviving. You would barely even believe the team heal came out there, but it did.
Seriously.
One of them came out.
Wow.
And now Conjugates. You'll notice that he did disengage. You know, Kronid no doubt said, I'm going to go down, run, separate, let me come back. And we'll see what we can do later. But Zan's going to use this to restack.
Speaking of lonely wolves, there's only 2 more seconds before he gets that boy back. Conjugate's in a great spot. They're back on the board. Like, this is an interesting situation. It's almost a full reset, except for the fact that Kronid could maybe use that team heal, but wait a second. There it is. Okay, so now they're looking pretty good. If they can get that shield back, Conjugate needs to protect himself. Oh, no.
I mean, he gets the shield, but how much damage is he taking in the meantime? And Zan, he's going to stick. He knows he can stick to him and push. Kronid's just about to lose his armored state, so he's on borrowed time. And this is just the shred.
That push was so real, Ketchup. Right away. So Penance, as you can see, this gorgeous map. Like, I'm so curious to see if they're gonna run the kind of like, you know, current and sort of all-time meta of kind of setting up and staying in that cathedral up top, because it just has kind of a little way, especially if we end up seeing an Archvile on this, that you can set up and sort of be almost completely protected. But wait a second, there's a Pain Elemental, and wait for it. Ooh, Marauder, they're running that old meta. Okay, this might be a little different because the setups are definitely not as campy with this too. You might see a lot more of them trying to get him perfectly in between where they're doing that V. The Carcass might be the MVP on this map too. I'm just going to shout it out before it even happens, Ketchup, because we've seen it before and we might see it again.
I definitely suspect that this comp really exists as a way to shut down that damage output, or at least prevent it somewhat. it's all about that Pain Elemental shield, the ability to, like right there, completely soak up those vital shots that would otherwise put you in a really unfavorable position. Now here comes the spam. Being able to spam out those projectiles, get a little bit of that splash damage just for some bonus damage. The loot block coming out, because check it out, he's been doing a lot of damage, but how weak is he? 14 health. The chain gun shield to try and save his skin, but the chain gun shield now only covers the front of him. It's not full 360 invincibility like it once was.
There wasn't a loot block on that, so he does have some stack, but my god, he's getting hit with all of these. Hold on. He's trying to restack again. He's pushing up in the face of conjugates.
He has to be careful though, Tokyo.
Ooh, he's got too much health now. He's got too much health for the demons to be comfortable. Let's see where this back foot goes. Really nice hazard, but is it enough? It absolutely isn't for Cronin, who's already off the board. Conjugate's now retreating back to the cathedral. He's got the shield up. It's going to last a little while, but how long? My god, it's not going to last long enough.
Ouch.
Caught him with his meatball out.
Point blank in the Pain Elemental backside, that was. Now, back to the classic upgrades. Just the dashing, the meatball, the tactician. We've talked about the utility of it before, but I mean, it's the exact same case here on the map. But the thing about Penance is it's a very small map. So combat is, the moment the round begins, you're fighting. There's really very few little room to disengage and gather your thoughts. You have to fight all the time. It's just a matter of what do you micromanage at important times when there might be a bit of downtime. Zan getting that meat hook so he barely takes any ticks through the hazard. That is a really good hazard location because a lot of Slayers, they love jump pads. But if you've got a Pain Elemental to block them, you've got 2 hazards, it's just areas that you're going to take tons of damage, but he's going to push and get tons of damage on conjugates already. This is absolutely outrageous damage that he's able to get there. And he's going to even more of it. Look at it.
Once he gets conjugates off the board, as in now, it is that 1v1 Slayer v Marauder that is not going to go in the favor of the Marauder with this much damage output. Ketchup, that's G's for that round. It is a quick 2-0 because honestly, the survivability of conjugates is right now what the axis of their success rate relies on, and it's just hard when he's pushing so much and going specifically for that meatball. Master Carve, Tactician, Bigger Bar. I like to see Bigger Bar out of the Marauder, out of Cronin there, because in those 1v1s, maybe now he can choose to play a little bit more passively so we can get conjugates back on the board. We will see, because here we are in the 3rd round. It is 2-1 of games going the way of the Slayer at full stack. Already used the teleporter. It's going to be on a cooldown now. The question is how do they set up and how do they execute where they can stop some of this damage output and start getting it into the Slayer with being able to perfectly loot block some of these, these ads that are just sitting down there ready to be Zanned, basically.
I mean, the big thing is they've got rid of his armor already. This is their green light to push, and it's why they're being so aggressive. Zan, he's using the jump pad just to be a little bit harder to hit. Remember, projectiles, very hard to hit a Slayer that's constantly using those, but he's not going to over-rely on it. Like I said, the hazard becomes so dangerous. Here comes that first block. Zan uses a ton of ammo. Big hazard. But now, Cronin, he's going to have to be quite careful.
Though. Hold on, look at their health. Look at his health. Oh my. Oh my. Forget what I said. It's gone. It doesn't exist.
You know what that means?
Calculated.
You know what that means?
Power
Team heal.
Upgrades. Oh,
power upgrades.
This changes
power
everything.
Upgrades. They do. Yeah. They do indeed. And especially on this map, like I said, the Slayer's going to fight you constantly, and you haven't got room to really dodge him or play a slow game. You need the team heal, especially now he's going to have extra stack and ammo thanks to Sentinel infused.
Right.
Here we go. He's going to go for a last-minute jump pad when they're not in a position to punish him. I like that they can't put a hazard down straight away, right? So that's a free jump.
But the same can be said in the way that, sure, the Slayer has jump pads as maneuverability for options in this, but if the Slayer is caught out in the open with low health, he's almost an equal target in the sense that there's not a whole lot of places he can go and hide either. So I like the way that this map favors if you're out in the open, like it's 50-50 here because you can be hit. And as you see here, I like the way they're trying to set up. They're trying to get Zan to maybe use that telly, trying to bait it out, because if they know that the telly isn't available, they can push that strategy even harder, get those hazards going, and sort of try to play him into their hand. Okay, switching sides they just switch positions there. He's doing the airborne stuff again. Slayer's incredibly hard to hit in the air, but Conjugates is a Lost Souls like sniper. I don't know what else to call him. The guy has like magnetic vision with this stuff.
You'll notice that Zan is He's only really going down into the middle if he needs resources. It's very scary being down here for this reason, actually. There's plenty of meat, plenty of demons around that can damage you, and you can get body blocked consistently. Plus, it's a popular hazard location, and now he runs down. Look at the damage that he takes. That is why Slayers often like to avoid that center area unless they have to try and get some resources. And now we're going into a final round again.
My God. This is the quickest final round that we've got to, and it's perfectly tied. This is exactly where we want to be. If Zan wins this match right now, if he wins this round, that's GG's. That's the finals. This is exactly where I wanted to be. This is the most exciting place you can ever see battle mode played because this is the finals. He's already popped the teleporter again. This is exactly what the demons want. They know that that's not available. They know that's not an option. They know they can push and set up in a way where they can drop hazards and sort of keep him where they want him. But wait a second. Oh my God.
Team heal.
Such a nice team heal.
Out the team heal.
Such a nice team heal, though.
I mean, it can't even be understated, Tokyo, how stressful this can be too. They know this is tournament point for Zan.
Yeah.
And there's one round away, and they're taking a bunch of damage. They've just had to use their team heals in basically 40 seconds.
Whoa.
A pretty bad start, all things considered. Here comes the projectiles and the splash again, and the combos from Zan, lightning fast.
I love that, though. They were playing bully ball, and the wolf got his bite, and all of a sudden, he's in a situation where he's only got 82 health. He's trying to restack, but they popped all their loot blocks. Okay, the teleporter's back. Ooh, the hazard's doing damage.
Oh, what a hazard.
Wait a sec. We got a 2-2 coming at you. Oh, of course it's Tundra. It's Tundra. Oh,
historically, they have really good games on Tundra, these three. And Tundra, like Penance, is a very combat-heavy map, but the combat takes place near Tower. That big tower that you can see in the middle of the map, it's where the Marauder and the Pain Elemental really like to set up shop. And that is going to be the comp that we saw them rock here.
This map is such a good one in the sense that I've seen so many exchanges happen in so many places, and yeah, there's some concentration points, but this is one of the first maps where I ever saw Zan literally play billiards on the bottom half of that tower with fodder, just going in and out the way that he's already starting to do now, basically using his meat hook as like an auto, key card to the yellow, to the blue, to the red door, wherever the hell it is that the demons are hiding, because the action is already coming straight to him. I love this aggressive push from demons so early. As we know, historically, demons do not start with the advantage in the way that the Slayer does as far as Arsenal goes. But you couldn't tell, Ketchup, because they already took him off the board. Woo! That was fast.
I'm never going to get tired of watching a point-blank Marauder shotgun. Just never. And now, upgrade-wise, it's the exact same thing that we've seen all the way. And some people do like to mix it up a little bit, but it's more common in the current meta that people have, their preferred set of upgrades. The Fit Meatball makes you agile. Tactician helps you utility. Tactician makes you survive longer. You can push longer thanks to Armored, really, more than anything. And then the bigger bar coming later. It's all stuff that it just gives you that consistent chance, right? And consistency is what you want. That was a delicious star. Wow. Coast to coast. Coast to coast.
It almost is like the immediate payback of, you want to do super shotgun up close, ballista boost, wait for it, here I am. Accept it, please. Accept it the other way around.
My shotgun's got a hook on it. I don't see that on yours, mate.
Oh my God, the payback is real. The delete key has been found, and it has been hit. He did take a lot getting there. He's got no armor, and conjugates as a fit meatball. Ooh, nice little swing there from the Hell Knight, a KO coming out. But conjugates, you got to think he's more comfortable than he's ever been on Tundra, because honestly, using that middle Zenith tower is just one of the best things a Pain Elemental can do. But the movement is so hard to predict.
Did you see how many exits Zan covered with that one play, thanks to the ballista boost?
Yep. And again, the way that he uses rockets to his advantage to just cover damage no matter where he's heading, and poke a little bit from the behind in case somebody's trying to chase him, somebody's trying to peek. But wait a second, look at his HP. They're both a little bit more stacked than he is. He's trying to restack now. Will he be able to? He is. He's got a little finger of armor, but not for long. God, you hear it. It's happening. There might be, that's what I thought. You're hearing a little bit of extra...
that's a chain gun, isn't it?
Let's call it the chain gun. Because sometimes it'd be that way. Sometimes the level just wants it to ring out like a bell. So it do. But right now, again,
we're checking out Van now. I can't hear it anymore. That's weird. Look at the flames on his blister. I like the flames. That's nice. Good flames. Nice flames. Nice flames, Zan.
It's that hot rod coming out. The Mattel in all of us wants it to survive. But wait a second, will he get back on this hoverboard, go over this axe, and get right into conjugates to take him off the board because he is about to go. He is about to take a dirt nap. And there, how did he survive that shot? Okay, he didn't. He didn't. There was one more. There's one more. Okay. I was getting
You sounded
confused.
so shocked. You sounded nearly angry in reality.
I was.
Cronin, he's getting big chase. This has been such a long round considering how much of it Zan spent weak. But again, like I said, they go for the double hazard, you can't heal, right? So you have to kind of go all in, or at the very least, just play this game of don't get hit. And look at Cronin's positioning. He's so annoying to pin down. And that's exactly how you have to play against the Slayer like this.
He's using every single one of those little vertical ledges to just hoppy back and forth and be a really hard target to hit. And wait a second, he got found. He got found. So now it comes down to that 1v1 of the ever fit meatball. The shield is up, but I have it. Look at the patience. I love it. He doesn't get crazy with this movement. Zan is just waiting for him to telepath what you saw, which is the round going towards the Zanster there, because he waited for that shield to come down patiently, and he capitalized.
I mean, the big thing for Zan near the end was clearing the entire arena of demons.
Yeah.
When you're in that center point, Hell Knights like to beat you up, Arachnotrons like to body block you, and he just got rid of them as soon as possible. So you get both stack and shutting down their ability to cause you problems, and then it just becomes a pure 2v1, and they can't really deal with that if they're as weak as they were.
They can't. That stack attack comes out. I love the kind of like feint there. I think everybody thought he was going through that telly, and he did not.
Armageddon forced.
Oh, they've pretty much taken his armor away, though. This is looking good in the favor of demons right now if they can continue this push. It's coming Cronin's way, but he's not too bothered by it. Until now, it is getting hit by everything, but Zan is so low! Oh!
And the carcass blocked narrowly a tiny amount. Here comes the loot block. That loot block caused to double up, not only shutting down the ammo, but shutting down his ability to stack Arachnotron.
Arachnotron.
Hello. That's what it was. Hello. Pew, pew, pew.
That's how it be sometimes.
Power upgrade time. And with that, actually looks like the demons have the advantage here, Tokyo.
It does, because you know what? Like I respect this is Zan showing respect in starting the round with more health, armor, and ammo, because he's running into these situations where he has he's almost 50-50 in a lot of these, where it's like, if I hit either Cronin or conjugates one more time, that's it. It's me or it's them. But like the demons honestly are playing a big part in this more than they have in the other one. The Arachnotron in particular, you're seeing the MVP right there. A little bit of aggression coming out of Zan, trying to make sure that he doesn't do what he did last time, which is let those that laser cannon, that head-mounted laser cannon, or brain-mounted as it were, do as much damage. But again, I love the way that Cronin uses the basically the verticality of this map the same way that the Slayer would. It really shows off. Yeah,
except they're trying to finish it.
Oh.
He's out of armor. He's out of armor. They've almost got their hazards back. I counted 10 seconds on the hazard respawn. So it's actually, if Zan is in a bad situation, they could pretty much melt him down right now. He's going to be super careful. He's still looking to make a big push. Team Heal gets forced out. This could be the end of the tournament if they play their cards right, but Zan going to play the eternally hard to pin down game. Yep, that's a hazard
there
miss.
It is, there it
they
is.
went all in. The hazards are gone. No, both of them gone.
That frag to Rocket to PB though, like, there's just so much damage. It's like you must hide when Zan is peeking, because you're gonna get hit with everything. Conjugates doesn't have his shield up. He's doing a really good job of evading, but he still took some at the end there. He still took some at the end, and you know that I don't think Team Heal is back for either of them. So if there's a push coming from Zan, who's getting pretty stacked right now, he's got a little bit of armor and a whole lot of HP. This could definitely go his way. Yeah,
absolutely tons of ammo.
Yeesh, if the demons can finish him right now, this is GG's the tournament. So I'm so curious to see how they're going to set up and try to be aggressive while staying alive. My God, Cronin just got hit by almost everything. Really nice hazard to make sure that he didn't get pushed again. But Zan's just playing peeky, pokey. And my God, if he hits anything, that's it for Cronin until they get... Okay, Team Heal is back now. And it got popped. So it's pretty even. All of a sudden, we're at a pretty much starting round. Man, again, Lost Souls coming out of conjugates. This guy, like... It's like the, I don't know, I was gonna make a football analogy. Who cares? This guy hits everything. Every guy you can think of that hits everything, it's this guy right now. It's conjugates with those Lost Souls. He's making every single one of them count, and they're all found. Oh, the PB to meat hook to PB. Just getting health falling off the map.
To me, really, it's mad just how long this round has been going on for and how healthy they all are, all things considered. The amount of damage that gets constantly dished out, but it does come down to really chaining these blocks together, making sure that you can't just completely combo them.
I mean, we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and if he's getting a little stack back, as I was going to say, it's getting to the point now where they might do the final push on Zan, and they're doing a pretty good job of doing damage, but he's still restacking. They didn't have any loot block left, so now he's at a bit of an advantage in the way that he's using his verticality. He's using the meat hook. He's getting that carcass, the annoying carcass, off of the map. That's one less shield he has to jump over, but his HP is low. He's only got 55. Okay, he's restacking. My God, he does it so fast, it's hard to even pay attention to it.
It is incredibly hard to keep up with this if you haven't seen Zan play very often. The amount of speed that all of these players actually, not just Zan in particular. But here's the big thing though, with Conjugates being down and now Cronid having to go back to this runaway game again, now they're separated. Yeah, this really is an advantage for him, and can he chase it?
Oh my God, I cannot believe he clutched that out as hard as he did. He turned that completely in his favor from being basically pushed back 2 or 3 times in that round. This is it, Ketchup. This is the final round of the finals.
Final round. That's where we're at.
Final. Oh my God, fight.
But this
Let's go.
I mean, I can't really say I'm crazy surprised here. This is the most dominant Demons, the most dominant Slayer. I think he did an entire 360 around that tower just now, and look at the health. What? He just deleted the health.
Oh my God.
And now with barely any of it left. A nice little meat hook. Clearing out the fodder. You have to get rid of it. Do not let yourself get blocked here. And they loot blocked there. I mean, he set a bunch of them on fire. Try and deny a lot of that armor. But now Conjugate's in big trouble.
I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest. I thought he was going to get poked a second ago.
That 1-1-1.
He still might.
Well, he's not using team heal. I think he's actually going to wait to see if he goes down, and he can use it at a more vital point. Or he's going to wait for Cronid to take more damage. Confident he's not going to take much damage. I mean, he's making himself hard to see and hard to pin down.
Yeah. But look at his HP. He's nothing. Oh God, there it is. Okay, he's got a chance. He's got a chance now. Cronid's doing his push.
That one ballista shot was all it took for them to go right team heal, and now the armor is up. He has to be a little bit aggressive and make the most out of this armor. Can't allow Zan to just disengage. Here comes the glory kill, the invincibility that we talked about earlier, and the range damage absolutely coming through. And the haste is going to let him out of the hazard really quickly. Both hazards down. Zan will know that, and he's going to probably be more aggressive now if he has a good push.
They've got great positioning, though. I love the way that they stay together, and they know exactly when to separate, create enough space to, basically not be a single target for any of those crazy Arbalest shots or any of those rocket launcher shots. But Cronid's not looking, he's looking a little worse for wear here. He's not exactly where he wants to be with HP. Even if he has armored up, he's not going to have enough to really face tank too much. And the restack is real. Zan is just absolutely focusing on that right now until he's waiting for that shield to go down. Is he going to do it? Okay. Going full aggro. But he's got shield, so he's looking kind of okay, except for now when he's basically a ballista shot away. It did.
Now the question is, can he survive long enough for his team heal to come back? Because they don't team heal at the same time, so there are slightly different respawn timings on the two of them. Speaking of which, actually, we haven't got to wait long for Conjugate's one to come back. Looks like Cronid still incredibly tender, but Zan weak himself. And they're going to try and pepper down that range damage. This could be a finish either way, actually.
I mean, Cronid... Oh, God. I'm so worried for Cronid right now. He's doing a really good job. Oh, he's caught out. He's got his armored up.
He waits until he gets seen. I like it.
Okay.
Either he waited until he got seen or he just got it by the time he saw him.
Oh, my God.
And actually, on that note, Conjugates will be back too.
The survivability.
Conjugates will be ready.
And Zan's out of super shotgun ammo, so he's looking for some fodder to get the chainsaw on. First
Tokyo,
one's blocked.
Team heal, and they're blocking his loot. He's got no ammo.
The stack is real. The stack is real,
could be a game over.
Oh my God.
Wait, the push comes out.
Oh. This is the 50. Oh! I still cannot believe the way that he can push back and stack the way he can. He's basically where he was, 7 hits ago. Oh God, now the stack is getting bigger.
Ready. His stack is getting bigger, but the hazards are ready to go.
True.
And here is the haste. The haste for Conjugates, the increased movement speed. He's going to use it. Oh, the hazards. Wait a minute, he's taking tons of damage. This is a really bad time to take that much damage. Cronid's sitting in the hazard to try and survive, but he's going to go down. And with Conjugates as weak as he is, I'm thinking, Tokyo, this might be all she wrote. Conjugates, he has to just look at him.
Hide, bro. Hide. Oh my God.
How can he get it? No,
Oh
he
my
can't
God.
survive that. Is going to be the Friday night